P-O-D-C-A-S-T.
It's Tech Tuesday on The Dana Barrett Show, brought to you by eHire. Get the upper hand and build your tech dream team with eHire.
All right, it wouldn't be a Tech Tuesday without Kyle Tothill from eHire. How are you?
What's up? Happy holidays, everybody.
I know. I feel like this is the problem, Kyle. It's this time of year for me where I feel like I just want to goof off a little bit. And now my friend is here. We're just going to hang out.
That's great.
Talk a little technology, have a little fun.
Everybody's just racing to Friday.
Everybody is racing to Friday because then you can just breathe that sigh of Christmas relief.
I haven't talked to one person that's working next week.
Now, and
everybody's like,
admit it, everybody's working this week-ish.
Kind of.
Right. Like, we're working.
We're working really hard at eHire, so if you want to contact
there
us,
you go. Of course.
We're here all the time.
eHire is working hard. The Dana Barrett Show, not so much. But, that's we have fun every day, so that's part of the joy of what we're doing. Anyway, listen, obviously eHire, all about staffing in the tech sector.
Yep.
And I was just griping in the earlier Tech Tuesday segment about sort of not getting some of these big, new campuses here from Apple and Google. You said on the break, maybe part blessing, part curse, right? Like, it's
Don't
kind
let
of
my friends at the chamber hear me say that. But
well, it would have been a lot, right? Because
Yeah.
we don't have the infrastructure really. It would have been a challenge, one we would have taken had we gotten the opportunity. Do you think that is all because of the transit? Do you think
I think that's a really big issue for us, and I think it's something that I really hope that the next administration really puts a lot of energy into.
Yeah.
Because we've got a great track record of bringing a lot of good companies here, and we've built one heck of an ecosystem here. And there's a lot of great opportunities for people. It's one of the number one destinations for college graduates.
Yeah.
But we've got to address the issue, right? Whether it's tunnels through downtown Atlanta
Right.
or fixing the train system. I know it's going to be an egregiously expensive thing.
Get Elon
but
Musk in here with the Boring Company.
we've got to make the investment. We have to make the investment. It's mandatory. But I can tell you that, it's not just transportation. It's competitive.
Yeah, it is.
And Austin and these other cities are awesome places too, right?
Sure.
And so they're scratching and clawing and getting after it. And so, I think the best lesson for us is we need to fix our transportation, and we better understand that it is uber competitive, and we've got to continue to work hard and stay hungry and be an aggressive pursuer of great companies.
Yeah, and we have talked about this already a little bit, but all of these companies do have a presence here. They're just not putting these big fancy new campuses,
Exactly.
but they're all here
In a big way, by the way.
Yeah, that's fair. So let's talk a little bit about where we are, in terms of the end of the year. People are out still, looking for work. Some people are hiring if they're companies, but let's focus on the candidates right now.
Sure.
It's always a tough time of year. So they're looking at, nothing probably for the next 2 weeks and then coming in, hot and heavy and ready to go early January. What should they be thinking about?
That's a great question. I think it's a very reflective time of year. We actually end up having a lot of really meaningful conversations around the holidays with our long-term relationships that we have, checking in with them. And what we try to ask them is, is 2019 represent the next logical step in your career? Is it going to allow you to advance your long-term career agenda? Are you in the right place? And if you had to draw up criteria for a new employer, what would that criteria look like? And does your current company fit that? Does your current role fit that? And those are tough questions.
Yeah.
But they are meaningful questions that you need to pause when you have a little bit of time off, when your stomach's full of turkey or whatever, and you're relaxing a little bit with your family. That reflective time is very, very, very important going into the new year.
Yeah, I think you bring up a really interesting point, and there's not one criteria when you take a new job, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people focus on the salary. Is it more than I'm currently making? And then they sort of go with that and often get to the next destination and realize, oh no, that extra however many dollars a year wasn't really worth it because now I sacrificed these other components. A girlfriend of mine who is in the tech sector just left a good company and went to, a better one, and took a pay cut to do it.
Right.
And not because she's not talented and got an amazing skill set, but the opportunity at the new company was better to work on different kinds of technologies, different kinds of projects, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a big decision that's not just dollars, correct?
No, it's hardly ever dollars most of the time. Some people are looking to true up. Maybe they haven't had a raise in a while and they're looking to make a move. And we're seeing in the tech sector approximately about a 10% increase in compensation if you make a move, which is awesome. That's super.
Great.
But chasing the money around won't get you very far ultimately.
Right.
What most of the time people are chasing is what we call intrinsic reward, and then there's extrinsic, which is like money, compensation, benefits, those types of things. When we test candidates out in the marketplace, compensation's rarely in the top 5.
Yeah,
it sounds surprising, right? You think most people are pretty coin operated, but ultimately they're not.
That's why I love having Kyle Tothill on this show.
But it's true. Most people want to make an impact. They want to be challenged.
Nick, I think we need a tip jar now that Kyle said coin operated.
Are you coin operated?
Yeah, I'm totally coin operated. I love that. I can be bought.
Exactly. Everybody has a price tag.
But I think in the tech sector in a way more than others, because there's a sort of an understanding you're going to make pretty good money.
Yeah.
If you're in technology, and so that's just the base, and then you've got to have all those intrinsic things as well. I mean, you spend most of your time at work.
Yeah.
You better like it.
Most of the technology professionals that we talk to are much, much more focused on the work.
Yeah.
And they're really focused on what they're going to build. A lot of them have an engineering mindset. They have a builder's mindset, and they want to complete projects and execute things. They want to work with the latest tech toys, right, and the new languages. And that's really what we see a lot of motivation around is, hey, where am I on my career liquidity? If I stay in this company in this role longer, does it help me or does it hurt me with my next role?
Right. So it's about staying current with the technologies, to your point, getting to work on cool projects. So when you're looking, obviously you don't want to walk in on an interview and be like, hey, so it's all about me. These are my demands. This is what I want. So how do you find that balance as a tech talent right now when there's, such low unemployment?
Well, number one, you have to filter out and spend energy and time interviewing with companies that meet your larger attributes. Most people look at a job in terms of a job and what the job function is. Hey, I want a job where I can, versus saying I want a company that's fast growing. I want to work for a boss that I can learn something from. I want to work with a team of really, really, really bright people. I want to solve complex problems. I really want to be challenged. And if I do all those things well, I want a big opportunity for me, my family, my career, my company. And most people don't think that way. They think more job related, skills related. If I take this small move, what does that do for me? And so the balance is actually sitting in an interview. You have a lot more control as a candidate if you can articulate to the interviewer what it is you're looking for at a high level, and that flips the script. The interviewer immediately flips into recruiting mode. Yeah. Oh yeah, sure, we're a fast-growing company. Yes. Absolutely. So there's a little bit of behavioral science in that.
Nice.
Right? But that's a tip for everybody. But ultimately, being able to define what it is that you want at a high level allows you to filter companies out so you don't spend time wasting time.
Yep.
And in addition, it helps you arm people to help refer opportunities to you or companies to you or people to you that look a lot like the attributes that you're putting out there. So it's really a framework that you have to put together, and then activate.
Yeah, I love that. So here's the deal. We're coming up on these holiday weeks. This is a great time to kind of sit back, maybe get out an old-fashioned, pen and piece of paper and jot down some of that.
Or your iPad or
whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Brainstorm some of that stuff.
Absolutely.
And think through those big picture things instead of just focusing on, well, these are my skills. Mm-hmm. I love that. Kyle, you always have the good stuff. I love it. Enjoy the time off.
What time off?
I'm taking some time off. Enjoy my time off.
That's right.
Kyle Tothill, always great to see you. Kyle Tothill from eHire. As always, we'll post a link to all things eHire on our show notes page at